been sipping, we been drinking, we been faded, we been gone. People tell me I should stop, but I don't know why I would want. I got the juice, I get nice, I hear the truth in your lies. I get away for a minute and get a break from my mind. When I get gone off the drink, gone off the drink, gone off the drink, yeah, 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 yeah. Gone off the drink, gone off the drink.
What's good? Yo, 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 yo.
Don't get me started. Do not
Another
get me you want me on
snowfall.
Your turf like
What are we,
Another
March
one.
12? And we're still dealing with the snow. I told myself I wasn't going to bitch about it this year, but damn it, it's my birthday, and it's snowing.
It's Packy's birthday. Hey, he's an old.
Hey, okay.
Go show it's your birthday.
Oh, yeah. So,
Feels good to be 22.
any birthday plans?
No, I got everything out of the way this weekend. Hung out with the fam Saturday, with the friends yesterday, and today got my girl coming into town to cook me a nice meal.
Oh,
That's about it.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
Yeah. So, Gone Off the Drink got released on Friday. So, riddle me this. Every time I post something on YouTube, you know, it's Gone Off the Drink, it's Marcus's music video, whatever, you know. Literally 30 seconds after I post something, there's one dislike. Every time. And it stays that way for like 5 hours.
Who are you?
I want to know who that dislike person is. Like, come on.
Because I'll find you.
They're literally subscribed to our channel. They get notified every single time something
That's the
gets posted.
definition of a fucking loser.
It's insane.
You subscribe to a channel to get notified for something so that you can dislike it every time it pops up.
And the likelihood of it being the same person is pretty good because it literally happens every time.
And it stays at one or two.
One or
for a
two.
long time.
Like, we have one or two of those just like haters.
Good. It means we're doing something right. That's what they say, right?
Really hate.
Speaking of hate, saw Strangers 2 last night.
Mm-hmm.
Booty cheeks.
Really?
Garbage.
Why?
Just not very good. It was the definition of an average movie the whole way through, and then the ending, I literally was like laughing.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you... Is it just because, like... I don't know how you, like, expand on the first Strangers.
Yeah, exactly. And I was talking about that afterwards. But the first Strangers was a good movie, so I was like, you know, you kind of got to see what the second one's about. But wish I wouldn't have paid money to see it in the theater.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had a feeling that wouldn't be all it was cracked up to be. Just because it's like, I mean, I don't even know why they tried to, like, do another one anyway.
Well, they'd probably make money off it just because of the first one's name, so.
Well, yeah, I guess I was interested in seeing it before you just said that, so.
Not worth it. Save your money.
Dope. Well, so I want to start off with literally all my tweet stream this past week has been about Bobby Tarantino 2. So I just want to get that right out of the way for us to talk about.
Okay.
Did you listen to it?
I have. I listened to it on my way to Grand Rapids last week.
Okay, what'd you think? Wow, a lot of silence.
I was
there.
lukewarm about it. I was excited to listen to it because I had heard he's back in his bag. He's rapping. So I was excited to listen to it. I went into it with a fresh mind. And I guess it's not really like a hot take because I'm not saying it was garbage. He is rapping. It's like I didn't want to turn the thing off as I was listening to it or anything like that. I was like, okay, cool. It was just a lot of lukewarm stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
The one standout track that I liked a lot was Indica Badu with Wiz. Wiz was back to rapping a little bit.
That's a dope track.
I really like that record. Mm-hmm. The rest of it just kind of, a lot of it blended together to me.
Yep.
And then it made me try to take the next step, though, of why lately is Logic not speaking to me when I did like a lot of his older stuff. I liked it, not only just the mixtapes, but I liked his first 2 albums, especially his first one, but the first 2 really. And I can't put my finger on it except for the fact that, so as a human, I like where Logic seems to be at in his life. Like as a human, he's married, he's successful, he's always talking about peace, love, and positivity, peace, love, and positivity.
Right.
Like, cool. I like that as a human. As a hip hop fan and a fan of rap, the stuff he's saying, I don't necessarily want to hear in my records. Like he's trying to. I think was it on Yuck or something where he was responding to Joyner Lucas maybe, and in responding back, he's talking about like all I have to say is peace, love. Man, say some shit.
Well, and that's when he says stuff like that on those Bobby Tarantino like projects, isn't that his projects to like talk his shit on?
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. He likes to do. It seemed to me that he likes to have that be kind of his alter ego type thing, so he can feel free to go talk his shit, whatever.
That's the point of it.
Yeah, and at some points he kind of was, I guess, and I like that. But yeah, at the same time, if you're gonna go back at someone and whatever, do it. Don't get out of here with the Twitter peace, love, and positivity stuff, which sounds whack because, like I said, as a human, great. Like, we're all growing up and we all realize that it's not all about the beef and the hate and the whatever. There's bigger, more important things in life. But in my rap music, in my hip hop, especially if you're telling me there's bars and shit like that, just want to hear a little more lyrical venom.
Yeah. But I did think that the project was like closer like to what I want to hear from Logic than I've heard from him in a while.
Yes. To me it was a much needed follow up to his Everybody album.
See, because I can excuse the like what you're talking about, the the stuff that you really don't want in your rap records and stuff, because there was a lot of other shit that I was just like, yes, like that is the old Logic that I remember listening to back in the day. And it was more so like I would say 75% of that project was that Logic. And I actually liked the project.
You do?
I liked it. It was
what give me some records that you would save in a playlist and go back and play. Like what were some of your favorites? Because that's part of the reason why I just say about it is it's not that it was bad, but there was only one record. It was that Indica Badu one that I was like, I would save that one and go back and play it. The other ones just kind of like, oh, it was a cool listen, but I'm not going back and really.
But I guess that's the thing is like I have to catch myself because it's a lot of the stuff that I even talk about with like our older projects and stuff as far as trying not to get too caught up in the nostalgia of everything.
I know.
Like, and because, like Logic was one of those people that I can bring myself back to like college and be like, this is what we were listening to while we were making music. Like, I can bring myself back to that listening to his mixtapes. So obviously all of those songs are going to mean a little bit more to me than anything new that he puts out. But I will say that, like, I could tell when I listened to that Indica Badu, like, that you were going to like that because that's your type of vibe and whatever. But I will say that, like, well, we already talked about the 44 more. I like that. I liked Boom.
Listen to Wiz double timing.
Dude, that brought me back to like Cushion OJ.
Yeah, that's dope. But what were you saying? What
Boom like? Trap Protocol was dope to me.
Really?
No. I thought the beat was dope.
Maybe, and I like the beats. I have no beef with the beats.
Yeah. But like, what was wrong?
I only listened to the project once. So
what was wrong?
I can't say for sure.
Song?
And I know we've been getting copyright claims because we've been playing too much music on here, so I can't play too much of it. But the Boom Trap Protocol specifically, I kind of remember hearing and being like, nah.
Why?
Probably because of what he was talking about. I don't know.
Because a couple bars were like not Like, to me, like, I can forgive that. He's in a different spot in his life. Like, whatever.
That's why I'm not mad at it. It just ain't my cup of tea.
But the overall song, it's like what I said. Like, if he's only talking about that stuff 25% of the time on the project and 75% of it is dope, I'm not going to judge him on the 25% that I didn't like.
Okay.
And like dwell on that. Like, I feel like I'm trying to be a better like person, like listening to music and not dwelling so much on the stuff that like, because I hate as much as the next guy when like for some reason I listen to that whole project and I still cringe when he talks about him being half black, half white. And comparing it to like he has a line comparing.
Still had to mention that in this project,
and he had a line about it like I'm like a piano, I'm half black, half white. I'm like, come on, dude, I fucking know.
Yeah,
like, and that's the thing, like, dope project. I listened to it all the way through, enjoyed it a lot, but yet the negative lines that I hate listening to stand out to me the most. You know, and that's like hater mentality.
Yeah,
like,
you know what part of my issue though is once you start going over and above with the peace, love, and positivity, which to me he's gone over and above with it. His biggest record is the suicide prevention song. Like, then it's difficult for me to have you come back. He's mixing in all these peace, love, and positivity bars with then like, gotta let my shorty drive. I'm so alive. Leave that pussy crucified. Like, when you try to be hard, then it just does like, and I hate to say you got to choose one or the other because you don't. You have different vibes and different sentiments on different records. Like, that's part of being an artist. I want to be able to go make a song about
but I know what
the
you mean
girl
as
I'm
far
in
as
love
like
with,
on
and then go
that
make
type of record when you're playing both sides of the fence, it makes it not as hard as what it could be.
I don't want to hear one record that has super peace, love, and positivity bars and also has I'm gonna leave the pussy crucified. I don't want to hear that. Like, if you want to do a separate song or the beat switches or whatever, but just on the same beat, the same song, I personally am not into, unless that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing, is like, hey, I'm portraying both sides of this. Like, that's what the song is meant for, cool.
Right.
But if you're just spitting bars and it's like, I'm just this good energy guy, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, but now I'm going to talk my shit. And then I'm going to blah, blah, blah. But now I'm going to talk my shit. It's like, what? I get a little confused.
Yeah, no, I
think
that.
I don't know. That's
the
vibe I got a lot on some of these tracks.
And I can't hate on that opinion because I feel that way too, but I kind of went out of my way with this record to be like, okay, let me not overreact to every time that he says these stupid things that like I'm trying not to hear on these certain records, and let me just try to take it as a whole.
Yeah.
Because once you take that mentality, I do feel like you start to enjoy the record more. And because it's dope-ass beats. He is like spitting on it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Solid. The word I kept feeling was like lukewarm, solid. I wanted to really, maybe part of it is after his last album, Everybody, was it called?
Yeah.
After that, I really wanted this to be a really dope project. And so maybe I set the bar too high. Maybe I got to go back and listen a second time and be like, okay. But
yeah, I
do think it was.
Or you're just listening really hard for those, like,
for the stuff I
for
hated.
the lines.
Yeah, exactly. So it stands out, whereas in the past it might not have because it's so in your face now.
Because I was literally doing that.
One thing I'll say though is I feel like lately when Logic gets brought up, I've had to kind of be like, lately. But when I really think about it, the only shit I have a problem, the only shit I don't like of Logic's was that Everybody album. That's it.
Yeah.
Even Bobby Tarantino too. Like, I'll critique it, whatever. Solid.
See,
solid.
Because
but the only thing I hate of Logic's is the Everybody album. That's it.
Yeah, I don't hate anything else.
I like his mixtapes. I like his first two albums, and this.
I mean, The Incredible True Story was like to me.
But to me, it was solid.
It was solid. But it didn't really do a whole lot for me. Like, really, when I think that, to me is like lukewarm. Like, he was trying to do too much in that.
But that's the good thing with Logic and artists like him today having success is the guy seems to really have his shit together and is locked into his work, and so he's constantly putting new shit out. So
No, and you can't.
if you don't like one thing, you got something else coming around the corner. So that's, and I do like, one thing I did like on this one was that he kind of addressed some of the things people hate on him for.
Yeah.
He kind of addressed those, and I like when artists do that.
Yeah, I do too.
He didn't just duck it and be like, this is constantly just be like, this is who I am and fuck everything else. It was like, oh, I hear you saying this shit. Let me address it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. When I listened to it all the way through, I was pretty much just like, if I take all of those little parts that make me cringe because of how I've been like just because of how many projects he's put out where he has those cringeworthy like lines to him, I've kind of been like,
I wouldn't even say
forced to like,
but I wouldn't even say, like, you keep saying cringeworthy. I don't really think of Logic as having
no, not
lines.
cringeworthy. Well, it makes me cringe though because of how many times he does it.
What?
Like for example, the black and white thing.
Yeah, I think everybody,
Like every time I hear him
critique
say it now, I'm just like, God damn it.
Whereas
like,
before the Everybody album, if you heard him say that, you might just be like, okay,
Right.
whatever, because
Like
he
the first-
sprinkled it in.
the first song he said that in that Everybody album, like if that was the only time he fucking said it,
then cool.
then
yeah.
fine. Yeah. But now I've been fashioned to like feel a way about it, and now it's just like
Every time you hear it.
every time I hear it, I get pissed.
Yeah.
Which I wish I didn't feel that way about it, but
Yeah. I've seen a lot of our listeners ask what we think of the Logic project, but I haven't really heard their opinions. So I would like to know in the comments or whatever what you guys actually think about it. And I will go back and listen to it all the way through again. And
I would imagine
next week
people-
I'll say if I feel any differently.
because a lot of our fans are Logic fans, and I would imagine just
Most of
based
them
off
like
of,
it.
yeah, based off of what I was listening to. I mean, I replayed it a couple times.
If you're a Logic
I
fan,
liked
you
it.
have to be happy after the Everybody album. You have to be happy about
Yeah,
this.
and
Even if you don't love it. Like, personally, I'm
sure.
happy about this following the Everybody album.
Yeah.
Because he could have just completely gone off the cliff, but he understands.
Yeah.
Cool. What else do we got? I want to, before we get into too many topics or anything, I want a quick shout out all the fans and stuff that came out to my show last week with Futuristic. We had a really good spec turnout. Shout out I had a bunch of friends come out too. That was cool. Trying to think. Christian,
Mm-hmm.
Brad,
right? Mm-hmm.
and Victoria.
Yep.
Because of me, I tweeted out, get to the show at 7 because doors open at 7, and apparently they were only letting VIP in at 7, which no one told me.
Right.
They just told me doors at 7. So it was a cold day. People were getting held up at the door and stuff. And Christian and Vic and Brad let me know, and they came up to the bus and hung out for a second, and we got in the building, but they let me know, so we were able to help some people out as far as that went. So shout out you guys. But yeah, very fun show. By the way, I am working on, fingers crossed, maybe getting out on the road this year for the first time in a while. So stay tuned to that. But yeah, shout out you guys.
Yeah, that was a dope show. Really good turnout too for a Wednesday night.
Yeah, cold ass Wednesday night.
Right.
What else we got? Okay, we watched the selection show, Selection Sunday.
Ooh, great time of year.
Um,
Great time of year.
State got that 3 seed, but we are in Michigan. We're in Detroit for the first couple rounds.
Mm-hmm.
You got any comments about Selection Sunday?
I hated the way that they did it this year. Like, I really did not like it.
How they kind of announced all the teams. I missed some of the beginning.
Yeah, you didn't
I actually
really
missed a lot of it.
You really didn't see like the whole intro of it. And like I get it because there's two aspects that have to be talked about as far as the way that they like what did they announced like the they had 3 different like categories, and they announced all the teams that were in like alphabetical order based off of those categories. I don't think that they left anybody off though, other than like the super low seeds. So they announced every team that was in. And I might be wrong about that. They might have left off a couple of them, but
Well, they might have because I remember you coming over to.
But I might have missed Oklahoma.
Okay, because you came over to Q and I, and you were like, Oklahoma didn't get in, and we were like, good, they shouldn't. And
they must have been in a different category at the beginning that I didn't see. So, but they did announce like a lot of them, and they didn't announce the seeds, which was fine.
Yeah.
But they announced that they were in. But I didn't just like them rattling off all the teams that were in without having any context of where they were. In there. But I get why they did it because they breezed through the bracket then, because that only took like half hour, whereas it normally takes like an hour and a half for them to get through that thing.
Yeah.
Which I did appreciate because then they're just not cutting the commercial break on every single possible time that they can. And you're just like waiting there for an hour to hear your who you care about be announced.
Yeah.
But I don't like them just rattling off the teams right off the bat just for the sake of doing it. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to act like I sat there and watched the whole thing because I didn't, and I'm also not going to act like I've kept my finger on the pulse of college basketball all year. But the only beef I will say I definitely had was Oklahoma, you can't go 4-11
that's
over your last 15 games and get in the fucking tournament.
Yeah.
When there's good mid-major teams out there, to me it's the Trae Young factor, which that's just dumb. But
yeah,
what can you do?
No, I know.
People are always going to have beef about that. And then that's the other thing I hate. Oklahoma will go win their first game or something like that in a 10-7 game. They'll win it, and people will be like, "Oh, and you didn't think they should be in." That doesn't tell me anything. Anyone can go. Like, they could go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
doesn't mean I still think they shouldn't have been in there.
Can you explain to me? I was literally thinking about this morning. Can you explain to me how Purdue got a 2 seed?
Well, that's another thing I saw State fans talking about is Purdue got a 2 seed.
I totally spaced on it when I was watching it, like just waiting to see, what Michigan and Michigan State were getting as far as seeds go.
Was Michigan a 3 seed as well?
Yeah. So Michigan and Michigan State get 3 seeds who beat Purdue, and Purdue gets a 2 seed.
Yeah, and not to mention I saw State fans bitching about North Carolina and Purdue are both 2 seeds.
See, North Carolina I can see, though, because when we played them, they weren't at full strength.
They weren't?
I don't think so.
Who was missing?
I thought, or wait, not missing, but they were not playing very well.
Tough titty.
Well, whatever. I mean, sure. Like
what?
All I'm saying is
that doesn't count because we weren't playing very well.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's kind of. But to me, there's more of a argument for Purdue. Like, we played Purdue at the end of the season and we beat them.
Yeah, but then Purdue made the finals of the Big Ten tournament. But
who gives a shit?
I mean,
like, we lost to the champion.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up. So you say North Carolina, you can understand whatever a little more. How many losses do you think North Carolina has? They're a 2 seed.
7?
More?
9?
More?
No.
They're 25-10.
Oh my god.
So I don't like. You might have a tough schedule. You might have some really good wins. Whatever. You cannot be a 10 seed or a 2 seed with 10 losses.
That's insane.
State has what, 4?
Yeah.
I mean, so we might have an easier schedule, all this shit, but we cannot be we beat you head to head. We have 4 losses. You have 10, and you're a higher seed.
There's 2 examples though. Like, I don't get both of them then.
Yeah. Well, and of course we're in Duke's region
bracket,
again, so we'll have to play them in the Sweet 16 if we get there, and Krzyzewski's Izzo's dad. But whatever. We'll see what happens when we get there.
NCAA hates us.
Overall, though, that's why you like the NCAA tournament. Yeah, you can get a good draw, bad draw, whatever, but it's one game. You got to beat who's in front of you. And you're going to have to beat tough teams to get to the Final Four. And
I mean, regardless.
And you can try to map it out all you want. Like, we're going to have to play Duke in the Sweet 16. Duke might lose. Duke's gotten upset in the tournament many times. Right. So you never really know. You just got to beat who's in front of you. But
that just infuriates me, though, as far as Purdue goes. Like, what the fuck?
More than Selection Sunday, what I wanted to ask you about was we left the TV on that channel when we were done, and the iHeart Awards were on. And we just kind of watched for a little bit. And I mean, no one was super interested, but it was like, okay, you know, music awards.
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, let's just watch and have a few drinks and see what happens. And it started going, and I was like, not that into this. And then they had a category. I don't know exactly what they called it, but it was Best Artist Pet. And they were literally showing the nominations, and they were animals.
Yeah. Dogs and cats.
So Taylor Swift's cat was up for an award.
Who won? Like,
I don't know. That's when we
Ariana
had
Grande's dog or something?
Yeah, it was
like
Ariana Grande.
How is this an award?
If somebody won that award and physically went up there to accept it, I would stop. I would quit music. I
don't even remember what happened.
I don't think anyone went up to accept it because I was watching.
Oh,
I was like, nobody better walk up there and accept an award for this. And then that's when we had to leave. I had enough.
The fact that they spent airtime on that award is like, really? You don't have any other awards to give out that are actually halfway meaningful?
It might as well be like, do fans vote on that?
I have no idea.
Because either way,
it must be, because to have that category,
if there's a committee that votes on that, check your life. Check your life if you're a committee member voting on that. If it's fans, it might as well just be who has the most absurd, like 12-year-old girl fan base.
Yeah. But I feel like that's the only way that it would be able to be, is fans. Like, why would you have that category if it wasn't fans?
I don't know. That just pissed me off, though.
Like, what? Are artists voting for other artists' pets? Or like,
there's just so much irrelevant, clickbaity, viral, try to be cool and cute stuff going on. It just makes me sick.
That award show was kind of absurd.
Is Tiger back?
Tiger's back. Tiger, I didn't even see what happened.
Second place.
He got second place Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
From my understanding, Paul Casey shot like 6 under to win it by 1.
Okay.
And from my understanding, Tiger and Patrick Reed each had a chance to win. I think Tiger needed to go birdie. And he birdied 17.
What did he finish?
9 under, I think.
Okay.
But I saw just a little highlight, and I think he made a 40-foot putt down the stretch for birdie, and I think it was on 17.
Wow.
So then he needed a birdie to go into a playoff on the last hole, and he hit the fairway, hit the green, but it was a long ass putt and left it short. But yeah, he might be back, man.
Wow.
That'd be good for golf.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed watching him. I watched him Friday and Saturday, and I don't know, bring me back to my youth.
Should he be a villain?
That's a great question.
Because I mean, any woman I talk to about Tiger Woods hates him. For some reason, like I completely understand.
Yeah.
For some reason, like I'm excited to have him back, and as far as him golfing, I just don't give a shit about the other stuff. Not that I don't give a shit. I just like when it comes to watching him golf, I don't give a shit. It's not like when it happened, I was like, I don't give a shit.
Is that like when you listen to Kanye's music, you don't give a shit about?
Yes, that's that conversation. I think we even talked about it when we were watching it, like with Glow and Katie. Like, I think Katie said something about someone. I think Tiger maybe she doesn't like him because of all the shit he did. And I was like, do you like Chris Brown? And she said, I like his music. And that's how I feel about Tiger.
Yeah, true. You could say I like Tiger's golf game.
Exactly.
But I don't necessarily have to like him as a person.
Yeah. And I kind of, how do you feel about that? Because there's some people that say if you're a fan of someone or whether it be an athlete or an artist, you have to be invested in them as well. Do you agree with that? Or
No.
you think you can separate?
I don't agree with it. Because
I separate.
I feel like you have to separate, though, because let's just be real. These people are entertainers.
And you don't know half the time.
And you don't know, like, there's plenty of things that you watch and do entertainment-wise that you may be benefiting some dumbass, terrible person that just because they're not super fucking public, you don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
there's even too much that goes into that stuff to be like, no, I'm taking a stand against this just because
the thing is, I feel like I have to draw the line at like, if you're one of those people and you're just saying, because the media brought this to my attention, I have to hate this person. To me, you have to take it a step further then, and you have to be like, well, so you're biased against the people that are in the huge limelights, to the point where you're setting the precedent that only if the media lets me know that these people are bad will I boycott them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, how the hell else would you know? Like, you can't know what you don't know.
It's the same thing as like the people that are super health conscious. Like, they read the labels, they do the hard work instead of just letting the news let them know, or like a Food Network show or whatever, like what's bad for you and what's good for you. They do the research.
Yeah.
So like, I'm even just spitballing as far as like, okay, so in a small time newspaper, like some business owner gets caught for like child molestation or something like that, and he like switches owners and it just fades away and the business stays open. It's not a national news thing. It's not like it doesn't get brought to everybody's attention, and you have to be paying attention to local news in order to know that it actually happened. Okay. So just by you doing a simple Google search, though, you can find it.
Yeah.
So at what point do you draw the line? So
you're basically saying it's a slippery slope as far as like, if something's thrown in front of my face, then I will act upon that. But other than that, I'm not going to go.
You're acting all high and mighty that you like, because the national news brought this to your attention, you feel like you need to do this. But what happens when you have to do a little bit of research in order to figure out what businesses or people you're supposed to be supporting?
Yeah, I get that. At the same time, though, I think you don't necessarily have to be someone that is actively searching this out. Like the Tiger Woods stuff, it was thrown in front of your face.
Yeah.
And so,
but that's why I feel like as a person, I need to separate it, though, as far as like, I don't have to fuck with Tiger Woods as a person.
Yeah, I know. That's I'm agreeing with you. I feel like you can definitely separate, but I also understand the people that don't.
No, I'm not saying that I don't understand it.
And I don't think if you don't, I don't think you have to then go look up everyone you support. I think you can just, if it is in front of your face, you just have to be careful. Like, this is kind of old news today, but oh my gosh, it pissed me off when I heard about it like a week ago or whatever, whenever the Oscars were and Kobe got that award. You heard about that?
Yeah.
And there was all this backlash because he was accused of rape back in the day.
Yep.
Accused.
Yeah. No, I know.
Accused.
Yeah.
Accused. Not convicted.
Yeah.
But there's all this backlash then of, you don't want this guy to win an Oscar because he was accused of rape back in the day?
Right.
What the fuck kind of logic is that?
But I guess that's my whole problem with, because, and here's the deal though too, is I'm very paranoid about what I listen to on the media and what I don't, because I do feel like the media causes me to feel a stronger way than what I should on a lot of these
mob
things.
Mentality.
Yeah.
Get the angry mob.
Like, and so that's why I take the stance of like, I don't have to fuck with you as a person, but I can still be entertained by you, because the bottom line is we're all fucking brainwashed. So by what we watch on TV, I don't know how strongly I'm supposed to feel, or what are the facts even being presented to me in a way that's actual, that are actual facts, or are you just presenting it in a way to fool me that they're facts?
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, whenever I look at stuff like that, I'm just like, okay, like based on what the news said, like I don't really fuck with this guy, and like I can have that decision, but I'm always going to assume that I don't have all the facts.
Yeah. I guess that's a good point. I tend to do the same. I tend to assume that unless I go out of my way to go find information out, I assume I don't really know.
You don't have all the facts.
So in order for me to then go take a strong stance against somebody,
Right.
that's a big deal to me, where it's not a big deal to most people out here. And that's why I say, like, if I say something about how the Kobe situation pisses me off, if I say something about anything along those lines, that's not me coming out and saying, Kobe didn't do it, I support Kobe, I stand with Kobe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, unless you show me otherwise, which they literally didn't. They literally didn't show otherwise.
Right.
Then he's free to win a fucking Oscar and live his life.
Right. I agree.
I will not go take some strong stance against someone that I don't really... And that's what you see these days with social media and the mob mentality is like, oh, there's been some shade thrown in this guy's direction. He might be dirty. Fuck him. And then 200,000 people are team fuck him. And it's like, what?
Well,
do you guys even know?
Well,
why?
But that's the thing is, I feel like media outlets are getting real exposed these days as far as like they have an agenda just like everybody fucking else.
Yeah.
And so I'm real hard pressed to find anybody these days that actually just give facts.
Yeah. I know. And I think it's tough because this day and age, the popular stuff is the opinionated stuff. So it's hard. Like, I think we maybe even touched on this on a previous podcast, or it was just a conversation we had.
Yeah, we did.
I think it's harder to find people that just want to be journalists,
right,
and report the news. Right, people want to be giving their opinions and stuff like that because that's what's popular and that's what people want.
And that's why I get a little bit irritated with like people that watch a news segment or something like that and form an opinion that's so strong as to literally walk the street saying, fuck this guy.
Yeah, if you're gonna be
like, dude, you don't know. You heard one side of the freaking story.
If you're gonna have the strong opinion, you better know what you're talking about. That's basically what I'm saying. I said this. I've said this for a long time. One of my least favorite people are the hard-headed idiots, like the stubborn, set in their way, the confident wrong person.
Yeah,
is one of my least favorite people.
Yeah,
like I go back to the example of, I don't know why I always think of this, because it's a small little example, but I think it provides insight into what I'm talking about. Way back in the day when we lived at the Blue Crib, it was you, Max, Devin, and I. And I think it was a Saturday or something, and Max and I, Max needed to go to the bank. And he asks, oh, well, I think it was like 4 o'clock at the time or something like that, and in the afternoon. And he's like, the bank's probably closed, whatever. Devin, volunteers. No, it's not. Oh, word? When does it close? 5. Are you sure? Are you sure, man? Yeah, definitely. Definitely closes at 5. We get to the bank. It's closed. It closed at 3:30 or 3 or something. That's the most frustrating shit ever to me. Just say you're not sure.
Right.
Say, I think it's 5.
Yeah.
Say, I think it's 5. And then I'll figure out no, I'm sure. So then, we don't take the time to look it up or whatever because he's sure.
Right.
3 times he said he was sure. That means to me that yesterday you went to the bank at 5. Or last weekend you went to the bank at 5 because you know.
You have the facts.
Yeah. That shit pisses me off.
Right.
We need to take some fan calls right now. I'm hot.
All right. Let's take some questions. We have 6 of these. So here is
Oh, by the way, we got a bunch of phone calls this week, so thanks for the submissions, guys. And we're not going to be able to get through every one of them every week, but keep submitting, and we'll definitely get to you.
Yep. Just, again, 1-616-606-5017 is the number to call in for next week. Here's the first question.
Hey guys, my name is Matt Neal. I'm from La Plata, Maryland. I was wondering, I always see those pictures, the posters behind your heads as superheroes. I've always wondered, what is your favorite superheroes and why? And maybe you guys could get in on a little subject about that. And thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. Mo and I, as kids, were very into superheroes. Mo especially. Dressing up in costume, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Big imaginations. This guy especially. So I guess you can touch on it as well. Personally, big Batman fan. He would be my number one.
He's my number one.
Spider-Man, number 2, for sure. After that, it's a little bit of a crapshoot. I do like Wolverine. That's why we got them up here, and we figured it was a good setting because it does go back to our childhood and how into superheroes and stuff we were. I hate Superman. That's the only thing I'll say other than the guys I love. Not a Superman fan.
Never been a Superman fan. I don't know. It's something about Superman that I'm just like, you're too powerful. Like, it's
you're just not cool. You're not cool.
It's not.
It's not cool.
Well, it's not cool to be like unbeatable. Like to have the facade of being Superman. Like, I'm all powerful, and there's this one thing that can fucking stop me.
Who are we just talking to that
Really.
doesn't like Dark Knight?
Our parents.
Really? Oh, and Katie. Our sister and our parents didn't like Dark Knight. Well, our parents thought it was too dark. Like, literally, brightness-wise, the movie was too dark.
Yeah.
Not like a mood. Like, literally,
it was always
brightness.
nighttime, so they didn't like it.
But Katie just didn't I don't know how you can not like that movie. That's one of the best movies of all time.
You have to like
You and your friends are dad.
I don't like people that don't like that movie.
But,
I love Batman, like, for real. That's the shit right
So we're
there.
kind of on the same page as far as those things go.
And Spider-Man, for sure, is, like, my second.
We
But
used to-
I do like those, like Batman. He's, like, the human, like, whatever, and he is beatable because he doesn't have any superpowers. But he's just strong and, like, whatever, and, like, I just like that mentality of it instead of, and,
He's got the gadgets and shit.
He's got the gadgets and stuff. He's kind of like, dude, the one superhero I got, like, my eyes open to and actually enjoy is Iron Man since the movies.
Yeah.
Because
the first Iron Man movie is really good.
There was no, like, Iron Man animated series when we were, like, younger and stuff, but so I didn't even get exposed to Iron Man until later, and he's actually dope.
Yeah, I like that first movie. We used to dress up as superheroes and do all that shit when we were kids. Mo was older, so he always got to be Batman, and I had to be Robin, all that type of shit. One time, Mo was Santa, and I was Rudolph, and I literally was on all fours dragging him around the house as he whipped me
in a sled
while my parents videotaped.
Yep, and laughed.
That's why I got this fire to be a rapper.
Wow, that's the inspiration.
That's why I spit that venom now.
All right, next question.
What up, Mo? What up, Pack? This is Alexander from Birmingham, Alabama. Thanks for the roll tide last time, Packy. Anyway, my question was, from an artist's perspective, where is the line drawn between fans being annoying with comments such as featured this person in this song and come to my city, and where the constructive criticism actually lies from y'all's perspective? Because from a fan, it all kind of seems to be the same, and of course y'all have a different perspective on it than we do. Anyway, respect for life. Keep it floss.
Good question. Honest to God, I would come to my city and the feature, whatever, like stuff like that never gets annoying. Like, I love that. The more comments, the better. The more shit I can read from you guys, the better.
Well, and that's not criticism either.
That's what I'm saying. As far as that stuff goes,
no, that's
the
fine.
more the better.
Right.
And honestly, constructive criticism, the more the better, I would like to say. As a human and just the human element in things, I don't know. I don't always take that well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes people don't know the definition of constructive criticism. Like,
no.
I liked your old shit is not constructive criticism.
No.
But actual constructive criticism, like, hey, like we got on the last podcast, we got a few different comments that said put the fan questions last.
Mm-hmm.
That's constructive.
Yeah.
That's a thing that we could take and be like, should we do that?
Specific, it's like to the point. Instead of being super broad and not even knowing what you're saying. This is a good point to make too. Not to bring up our sister again, but had a conversation with her the last 2 weeks about why she liked the parlay better than everything else. she couldn't like boil it down to like anything, and I started to like pressure her into being like, because she likes J. Cole and like Kendrick and all of those guys who the parlay type of music was not really like that. Like mainly what I'm
Beats
talking
and
about
stuff.
is the beats, yeah. And so people that like the parlay a lot, I'm challenging them to be like, what was so good about the parlay that you can't wrap your head around any of our other projects? That it was just that good that you're just like always attached to that.
Yeah, because as far as her taste, I would have thought she would like Mad Lifey better.
Because it's more like that. And so it was funny because literally 3 days ago, she comes to me and she's like, yeah, I listened to the parlay again, and then I listened to the type of music that I listen to, and then I listened to Mad Lifey, and I actually got what you were saying about me, like, not getting caught up in the nostalgia
Yeah, it's
of
because you
the
attach
parlay.
music to a time.
Because she didn't actually like the music better. It was what the project represented that she liked.
Yeah.
And therefore would play it because it would bring her back to a time where she remembered her brothers putting out a project and everybody liking it, and it was an exciting time. We moved away.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
It was the first thing we did as like actual artists that make money.
And I'm not dissing that by any means. It's part of why we make music.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like you can't just say I liked the music better. Because you didn't. You liked what it represented. You liked how it made you feel.
So where are you going with this?
That's like when you just say we have tons of people, because when I was asking her at first, there was no constructive criticism being offered because she didn't even understand why she liked it. Yeah. But she just knew that she did.
That's a good topic of conversation, like not to get too deep into it, but just to bring it up of the whole, because we were talking about this with Q even a little bit this weekend, of any of the, because lots of artists get it, especially if you've stuck around for more than a year or two. It's like, I like the old shit.
Right.
And obviously Jay-Z has the classic line, why my old shit, buy my old albums, or whatever. And that's a great line because it's true. But at the same time, as an artist, I think Q was telling me he was listening to Heat Check or something, and he saw on the comments like someone said, I like the old shit better, or something like that.
Right.
I, honest to God, can't listen to Heat Check and be like, oh, it's different than my old shit.
There's something that I'm doing different in this. Yeah, it's not.
I found a beat I liked, and I rapped over it.
Right.
And I don't think the way I rapped on it is much different than how I've ever rapped before. So, yeah, there are times where I can tell a difference, and, like, I'm not saying that I would ever change that either, because how I want to rap now is how I want to rap now, and maybe I did rap a little different back in the day. I think now is better than back in the day. But as far as something like that goes, when someone says on a Heat Check, like, I like the old shit better, what are you referring to?
The only thing that I can think of is because of the times changing in rap and you developing as an artist, your content, what you rap about, is different just because you're a different person.
Yeah.
And two, rap has become more melodic, and therefore you have become more melodic than you. If you go back and you listen to your old stuff, you didn't sing. You didn't even try to, like...
Heat Check, though?
No, I'm not just specifically talking about Heat Check. I'm talking about your new shit versus your old shit.
Okay.
In general. There are more songs that you have now that are more melodic than what your old stuff was. And that's an example of constructive criticism. Not, yeah, man, your new stuff's different than your old shit.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah. Like, I never like
criticism.
I never
That's
like
not
the old
constructive.
stuff versus new stuff comments, period. But yeah, it would be more digestible if it was like, this is why.
Right. Hey, Pack, I like your shit that you just rap and stop singing. Like, that's constructive.
I wouldn't like that comment.
Right.
But okay, at least it's a legitimate
That's a
comment.
constructive comment.
And so as far as
telling him what to do in order for you to make music that fan would like.
And that's the thing. You have every right to state your opinion, and sometimes I'll take it and sometimes I won't, but that's constructive criticism, and I have no problem with any amount of constructive criticism.
Right.
I have no problem with any amount of come to my city. I have no problem with any amount of feature this artist.
Right.
No problem with any of that. But as far as what I don't like, what I do have a problem with is I like the old shit, or like just random shit like that. Okay, dude.
Yeah, that's not.
Go listen to the old shit or
not constructive at all.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Hi, I'm Giovanni Diaz from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. I just wanted to know if you guys were planning on doing like a collaborative mixtape or album, sort of like how the Black Panther album was with like all the TDE artists working together.
Yeah, we've gotten a few questions about that, and we've talked about it as a squadron, and we definitely want to work on something like that, a collaborative project, but there's nothing super in the works at the moment. I don't know if it'll go down that we'll all kind of put together some of our drafts of music and start to work on those, or if we'll actually go sit down and just make an album or a project, whatever, the four of us. There's also certain hoops Mo and I have to jump through and think about as far as how to release it with the four of us on it. But yeah, that's on our radar for sure.
Yep, it's been talked about.
Hey, what's up? This is David. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I just wanted to ask, like, I remember back in the day it used to be called Packy Do, and then you had to change it to Packy. So I was just wondering if you want to talk about that for a bit. Thanks.
I was never called Packy Do. That was my Twitter name when I first
Twitter
started.
handle.
Twitter handle. There's a big difference between my name or what I call myself or my stage name and my Twitter handle. Right now, I hate when people refer to me as Packy Raps. I would just be Packy if it was available when I chose my Twitter handle. It wasn't, so I had to do something else. So we went with Packy Raps because as a business, that explains what I do. You know you have the right guy. If you listen to my music or you heard something of mine and you see, oh, Packy Raps, that's probably him.
Right.
But don't call me Packy Raps. I never changed from Packy Do to Packy. I've always been Packy.
I'm going to start calling you that. Packy Do.
The only thing I changed was we changed from the spelling of Packy of P-A-C-K-I, which was like early on. And then when we created the label, we changed it to P-A-C-K-Y because they like certain, I think the reason we really noticed it was we tried to change the Facebook page to P-A-C-K-I instead of the Spectators. And it said we couldn't. And we figured it was too close to the racist term like overseas, Packy, P-A-K-I.
It was flagged as a bad term on Facebook, so you couldn't name your page that. And then it caused us to research it, and we found out that overseas, it's a racial slur.
Right, P-A-K-I.
P-A-K-I, right.
Right. But yeah, we also researched it enough to be like, Packy is, you know, it's a...
P-A-C-K-Y is a nickname given like in a lot of areas around the world for like especially for Patrick and it's actually a name in a lot of areas too, like not even referencing Patrick.
So it's not like if we just straight up found the word Packy is a racist term, we wouldn't have gone that direction either, but it's like it's a certain spelling and but that's the reason that got changed. But it was, my name has always been Packy.
Right.
Packy Raps, Moe-T, how's it going, gentlemen?
Stop the tape.
Central California.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not Packy Raps. This isn't Matty B Raps. We need to stop this nonsense.
It's Packy. Straight up.
Come on, this is my birthday. All right, anyways.
Go, shorty. It's your...
All right.
Packy Raps, Moe-T, how's it going, gentlemen? This is Ty from Central California. Now, last week's podcast, you guys were going off on Tory Lanez and how he stole that beat and that flow from that underground rapper or whatever. So, which I agree with Packy 100%. Moe-T made some valid points.
He got me Packy there.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, Packy, that being said, some could argue, using your own logic, that you did the same thing with Freak on a Leash. Did you not?
Can you rewind that?
What's going on, man?
Did he just say Freak on a Leash?
Address it, thank you. If you
he
don't,
means
I
off
totally
the leash.
Understand. Thanks. Made some valid
Freak
points,
on a leash.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, Packy, that being said, some could argue, using your own logic, that you did the same thing with Freak on a Leash.
Freak on a
Did you
Leash.
not? Is there a difference? What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Why'd you make
Address
Freak
it,
on a
and
Leash?
So-
if you don't, I completely understand. Thanks for the time. Have a good one, boys.
Freak on a Leash. I'm about to make a song called Freak on a Leash. I believe he's referring to my song called Off the Leash, which was over the same beat as Freaks and Geeks by Childish Gambino.
Right.
So that's how he got Freak on a Leash.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, one could definitely argue that because I literally took his beat and rapped over it, but I never made that a secret. Like, I never put that out for, like, purchase on iTunes. Like, some of you guys ask sometimes, why isn't About That Life on Spotify? Why isn't The Sunroom on whatever? Well, a lot of that is because we don't own the rights to some of those beats. Like, back in the day, I used to rap over other people's beats. I used to use industry beats and shit like that. And I never made that, I never hid that. Like, They have the credits and everything. I've probably even tweeted it out before. And that was a popular song.
It's on the track list.
Yeah, it was a popular song. Everybody, not everybody, but lots of people knew when they heard that Packy's rapping over the Freaks and Geeks beat.
Right.
And so that's what I did. But yeah, that's not the same as this Tory situation because Tory is claiming this as original content.
Right.
And not saying that he ripped anything.
Right.
I totally used that beat.
You want to know the other difference of that to me? Like, he's referring to there's tons and tons of rappers that have done stuff over different beat, like over somebody else's beat and restructured the song. So your Off the Leash starts out, okay, then you bull and ole them, right?
That's bars.
And then Childish Gambino's Freaks and Geeks starts out with, dude, I can't remember, but it's a totally different rhyme scheme than that, and totally different cadence, totally different rhyme scheme.
Is it Gambino as a mastermind? Is that
Gambino is a mastermind to fuck a bitch to pass the time?
Is that how he starts it?
Something like that, yeah. But like the rhyme scheme, the syllables, like the way that you're flowing over the beat starts out differently. You're bringing something different to the table. When I listened to that Tory Lane shit, he changed the words. He didn't even change the rhyme scheme of the song.
Yeah.
As a rapper, you can choose to rap over something completely different to the same beat and change the way that something feels.
I agree with you, but also at the same time, I want to make sure it's pointed out. That's not, when it specifically comes to Off the Leash and Freaks and Geeks, I don't care about that because I was specifically, like, when I made that song, it's like, it was the mixtape days. It's like Lil Wayne putting out No Ceilings.
Yeah,
like,
but
those were all industry beats, and he might be even using the same cadence or whatever, and I wouldn't have cared if I did use the same cadence.
That's
and shit.
true.
That's what I'm trying to say as far as that goes.
That's true.
But I get your point.
Yeah, yeah. I do think that it's a different, especially too, because he's passing it off as an album song. Like,
right.
That's the difference.
Yeah. No, I put out a song. I never claimed that wasn't that beat.
Right. All right, last question.
Holy shit, this is real. All right, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized horses or 1 duck-sized horse? That is all. Thank you.
Wait, what?
I would rather fight 1 duck-sized horse as opposed to 10 ducks. I feel like he said that wrong, but he made it very easy for me.
He definitely.
Would I rather fight 10 duck-sized horses or 1 duck-sized horse?
I'm playing that again.
I'd rather fight 1.
Holy shit, this is real. All right, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized horses or 1 duck-sized horse?
Yeah.
That is all. Thank you.
See, if you're going to call in and try to be funny, you better get it right. You fucked it up, and you made it easy. 1. I would rather fight 1 than 10.
1 duck-sized horse instead of 10 duck-sized horses.
Get your ducks in order.
1 horse-sized duck is what he meant.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Because that would make more sense. All right. That's it for the questions.
I got nothing else. We got a you got any more topics?
I do not have any more topics.
So, Gone Off the Drink is out now. That's my latest. I need you guys to smash that play button. We know you in real life a little. We got a little visual dropping this week.
Whoa.
We just Aiden came into the office and shot it just here in the studio. So don't judge it too harshly based off Marcus Ryan's last video, which was a movie. But I want to start getting some visuals out there. So it's a visual that we just shot in the office, and I told you guys before I want to start doing this shit more. So I want to do more visuals. But yes, for now, I will tell you when I got one coming out that's super cinematic or something, but I just want to get more visuals. And you guys let me know if that's something, when you see it, if that's stuff that you like and you want me to do that more often, or if you're like, nah, I want to see some dope ass shit, and don't give me.
I want to see a movie.
Yeah, don't give me this other shit in the meantime. But the more low budget shit is where I'm leaning, as opposed to less super high budget shit.
Questions for next week. To make it clear, the call-in number is for voicemail only. I got tons of text messages to that number. I will not read them. I will not answer them. I will not do it. Make sure you leave a voicemail.
Yeah, we want to play that on the podcast.
Right.
So.
I don't want to just be reading off questions.
Otherwise, it just seems like we're making up our own questions.
Also, if you live overseas and you want to submit a question, you can submit it. Well, not if you live overseas. If you prefer to submit it on Twitter via video, you can do that as well. We didn't get any this week, which is fine. Yeah. If you guys prefer to call into the number, that's cool too. We offer both, but just as a courtesy, like, you can use the Twitter too. The number is 1-616-606-5017. Yeah, good questions this week. We want to answer more next week.
Shout out everybody that copped merch when we had the sale last week. A lot of merch was flying out of the office, which means we will have to be rolling out some new shit relatively soon because we're running low.
We don't have anything. All right. Wobbin, about to hit 3 mil.
Yo, straight up, shout out to all you guys for making Wobbin easily like just my closest thing I've ever had to a hit. Over 1 million on YouTube, over 1 million on SoundCloud. We don't know the exact Apple Music stats, but there's actually 2 Wobbins on Apple Music because we released it as a single and on the album, and they don't combine them like Spotify does.
Right.
So if there was only one, it would be my #1 song on Apple Music. I think it's already at number 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I think
just
so.
one of the versions.
Yep.
And then, yeah, it's about to hit 3 million on Spotify.
Yep.
So I just want to thank you guys for that. That's fucking awesome.
So we're going to outro to Wobbin by Packy.
Late night or early morning, I can't tell. They praying on my downfall, I wake up fly as hell. Can't shoot me down, 40,000 feet above LA. I put it all into motion to take over, but underway. Ooh, I know they want a piece of me. If I put it on a record, it's a guarantee from me. What you need from me, I've been all me from the jump. Got a girl with a back, you can see it from the front. All over the map, she ain't seen me in some months. Hey, when I hit the road, love when I do the home runs. If you're never offline, man, you own one. I let my boys talk, hardly ever do my own stunts. I ain't really with the acting, I'm with the action. I let a lot go, addition by subtraction. If I don't know you, don't remind me. And if you're supposed to, then you'll know where to find me. Low-key squatting, chose keep watching. Love it when they do it too, the boy need options. Whole team mobbing, whole team mobbing. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbing.